Thank you. Thank you. Hello. I'm running a domain, a family domain called Domaine de Lagoy, and it's centered on a chateau which dates back to the 17th century. That's when the family built it, and it's stayed in the same family ever since. Our appellation is IGP Alpilles, and Alpilles is not an appellation which is very well known, but it's gaining speed. You see the Alpilles at the back of the picture there. In the front there are our vineyards on a plateau, and the Alpilles, it's in fact a bar of limestone. You often find this in Provence. This one is peculiar because it is east-west. The others are rather north-south. And in fact, our domain is on the northern side of the Alpilles, and it's geographically quite on the north side of Provence. Just over, even north, you have Avignon, and then the Côte du Rhône wines, and the rest of the Provence, obviously, is on the south of the Alpilles. So our wines are red wines, for example, could be reminiscent of the Côte du Rhône, but we have different colors are there. You can see our red wines. What is Provence as far as wine growing is concerned? Well, limestone, as I told you, pebbles, lots of pebbles. It's a rather hard soil to work, and wind, which is, so the pebbles and the wind are very good for growing organic grapes, and our vineyard is organic since 2001. Saint-Remy-de-Provence, by the way, is a very pretty little town with a Greek and Roman origin, and you're welcome to visit it if we can work together. I'd be most glad to show you around. So the kinds of wines we do, Provence is obviously known for its rosé. And so we have in fact, three kinds of rosé. The still ones, we have sparkling ones, and we also can sell in the States bag-in-boxes, rosé or other colors in bag-in-boxes if you want. So I will show you what these different kinds of rosé. The main ones are shown here, but we have two kinds of cœur de gamme, as we say, our range, middle range of rosé that are quite different. One is very much on the Cinsault, and it's fruity and easy to drink. The other one is more gourmand, as we say. It's little Cinsault, but Grenache and Caladoc, which is a local, and Merlot. And this is more a subtle wine, which you can drink on its own, but also with meals. The Cinsault one is what we call more rosé de soif. It's more on the fruit. So you can choose between those two. we have our top of the range, Cuvée de la Chapelle, which is in the middle of the screen. This is a very elaborate rosé, and it's also very good for haute cuisine. Our rosés blend well not only with cuisine but also with Oriental food, Chinese food, for example. So our bag-in-box. This is what I can show you. This is our 5 liters bag-in-box. We can put in bag-in-box different kinds of rosé as the customer would like. We can bag-in-box white and red also, but all this is according to what the customer would like. Now, our sparkling rosés are of 2 different kinds. One of them on the left of the screen is the Festage, which is done by a method, Provençal method, which is reminiscent from the Champagne. This needs 9 months to grow, to be made. The method Provençal is quite special because we start with ripe grapes and not acid grapes as in Champagne, because we do not add sugar, we add fruit juice, because when the vendange, we keep some juice and we deep freeze it, and it's used by the manufacturer afterwards, the subcontractor, to be put in the wine. Festeggio means feasting in Provençal. So there you have a sort of equivalent Champagne, but organic and rosé from Provence. The second one is quite a different one. This is, I can say, this is Brut Nature, very, very no sugar at all, Brut Nature. On the contrary, this one, which is the Canté, is a sweet wine. It's organic, but it's sweet, and it's 8 degrees alcohol only. As you see, both are very different wines. They need to be tasted. In the middle of the screen, you have our latest wine, sparkling wine, which is Canté white. Canté means I sing in Provençal. So these are rosé. Now we have 3 kinds of reds also, and 1 kind of white. So the red, you have our classic range, which you also find in rosé. We have La Chapelle, which is as in rosé, and in the middle, this is La Chapelle on the left, and in the middle you have Marquis, which is our top of the range, because this is grown. This is elaborated 18 months long in oak casks. So these wines there are blends of different grape varieties, because we have at least 10 grape varieties in the domain. Grenache for the red, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, for example, Caladoc, Marcellan, to name some of them. The white is made of Chardonnay, Cabernet, and Viognier. So these are I presented the different wines we have. What is to be said? Our production is gradually increasing, and we would like to export and find importers in the United States, and we would love talking to people interested in long-term relationships so that we can develop something solid and win-win situations. There we are. Do you have any questions on our wines, on the domain, anything else? I can't hear you.
Yes, Pascal has a question for you, Olivier. Thank you very much. So you can visit Olivier's booth at any time. Pascal?
I can't hear you, Pascal.
Oh, on t'entend pas.
Voilà. Sorry,
voilà.
I disappear from the screen. Technology. So, yes, may I have a question? You know, in the East, I have some importer, they're looking for kosher wine. Is it possible with you to have this kind of wine?
Yes. We can certainly. It's anyway. For a start, it's organic, and then you what we need is to hand the seller over to specialized people, but there's no problem. We can certainly have a cuvée kosher, no problem.
Okay, très bien. And it will be with the rabbin from New York, for example, or the rabbin.
The rabbi, I suppose they can. They decide what they want. If they want to mandate a local rabbi, they do. They are welcome if they come from New York. They will decide.
Because if it's the rabbin from New York, perhaps you must pay the plane ticket. It will be more expensive for you.
Well,
and for us, the wine. Thank you, because we have some visitors. They ask me this question, so I give you the information after.
Fine. Any other question?
Any more questions? So I couldn't get the bag-in box. What is the capacity? Is 3 or 5?
This one is 5 liter.
5. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
If we are thinking of doing 1.5 liters, we're thinking of adding this to our range, but we haven't decided yet. But if anyone would be, in fact, if anyone would be interested in another amount, we can talk. And I mean, there's no.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So, any more questions for Olivier? It's okay. So, if Jérôme is ready, we can start with you, Jérôme. Just let me know if you are ready.
I see Jérôme is there.
Yes, he's there, but I don't know if he's hearing us and if he's ready for presenting.
I didn't make any mention to our different medals. We regularly have medals in Paris. We have one wine in decanter. We had a bronze medal last year, and we are gradually putting our wines in international competitions. So this is something that is evolving. we have an FDA number and also a DANS number is a new. How many days do you have left, Pascal, for this electronic event?
It will be finished Saturday night.
Saturday night. Good.
So we have again 3 days. Jeudi, vendredi, samedi. Yes.
Well, it's the first one I'm doing.
Yes. The importer, I'm impressed, are impressed. I receive a lot of message from them and they tell me, Pascal, we visit your show. It's incredible. It's nice too. So they are happy. It's a good news.
Good.
Because it's not easy, huh?
No.
We are not in the same room. It's impossible to drink together, have fun, talk, etc.
Yes, it's a different.
Fun with the computer, là, it's different. Huh? Okay, so we're waiting for Jérôme. Odile, y a-tu envoyé un message à Jérôme? Ah, elle n'est pas là.
That's what I was doing, sending him a text. But he's scheduled in 5 minutes, so.
I see. Well, I still have the curfew coming on, so I will need to move in a few minutes, but it's all right. We can wait for Jérôme.
Hello.
He sent a picture. Yeah, but I cannot take it out of my phone.
Hey, Pascal.
Dis-moi.
Hey, this is Fern.
Hi, Fern. How are you, my friend?
Good. Hey, Senard, that's actually a question for you. I didn't quite understand how different your method is than méthode champenoise. Could you maybe just review that once?
Yeah. Well, the méthode champenoise, they start with grapes that are not ripe, and they're quite acid, and they have to add alcohol and sugar in the process. We start with ripe grapes. The policy of the domain is to pick the grapes when they are ripe, and so our alcohol volume is rather on the high side. It's in order, but it's when the grapes are ripe, we believe they get the most out of them. So we start with ripe grapes, and we do not add alcohol, but we add grape juice, our own grape juice, which we collect when we pick the grapes, and we deep freeze it and send it to our subcontractor, which adds it at the right time. So you don't add alcohol. You add alcohol to a low alcohol mixture because it's made up of grapes that are not ripe, but you add fruit juice, there's a lot of sugar, but it makes the at the end you have a 12-degree sparkling wine.
So in a sense, you're chaptalizing with that?
It's our own grape juice. Chaptalisation, you add the sugar.
Yes, but
there you add your own juice of your own grapes. It's a different it's a different way. In the end, you get the same alcohol, but you started with rather high alcohol wine as the grapes were ripe. But if you want when you add the grape juice, it's non-alcoholic, so the volume increases, and you don't not the alcohol. It's another way to do it.
Yes, I understand. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, with pleasure.
Merci.
Cante is very different, obviously. It's less. It's cheap. It's shorter to elaborate, because you start the